Hello. Well, unfortunately, when I started this project, I didn't realize that my microphone wasn't recording. So have to do a voiceover, which is not easy for me, but I'm going to give it a try anyway and see what happens. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment and I will try to answer whatever it is that maybe I had missed when I was doing the recording. So I'm going through the items on my table. Originally, I was going to do a 16 by 20, and then I decided it was just too difficult to put that much on my table to film. So I have reduced it down by, um, I think it's 11 by 12, or 12, what is that? 12 by 18 or something. I found an old oil painting that I had done back in the 80s and I took it apart and I'm going to reuse the frame and the uh, foam core board that's in the back. So this is something, I can either cover up or, get rid of at some point, give away. I don't know. The parrots were from Tenerife. A friend of mine went there on vacation and brought me some pictures back, and I just fell in love with this one, so I painted it. So anyway, now basically all I'm going to do is just prep the surface um, and then start jumping in where, I'm just pulling tape and whatever off. So what's nice about this frame is it gives you two options. You can you can make it almost like a shadow box. It's very deep. Or you can put it closer to the front like a regular picture would be. But anyway, it's a really nice frame. It has a few little bumps and scratches, but for steampunk and grunge work, it doesn't really matter because you're going to cover most of it anyway. Um, and I opted to just use what I had there instead of recutting. Um, so what I would suggest is if you want to make one of these, just grab a few items and just see, what you would like to put on there. That doesn't mean you'll use everything, but it'll certainly give you some ideas. Do I want this? Do I want that? And I go through the entire process, and um, the reason I do that is because it's not a tutorial. A tutorial is where you have already made something and you have all your supplies and you are going to follow um, a specific guideline to complete it. This is not a tutorial, this is craft along with me, chat with me, and I just show you my process and then you can just go do whatever it is that you like with your supplies. I prefer to work this way because to me, it's more fun. It's very creative. You don't have to be, going to the store and buying specific items. Use what you have. That is what I truly uh, recommend for everyone. Learn to use what you have. So anyway, I am showing you how this is, going to come about. I have to do some hot gluing to secure it in there because was cut a little crooked, obviously. And I didn't know that, but it's okay. I did put new tape down and it's secured, but I want to hot glue it in place so it does not come out. And then the back will be covered with some paper, so it's okay, you won't see it. I also decided to use some cardboard and use my Tim Holtz dies to cut out some gears and some pipes and things. I don't know that I'll use them, but I wanted to have a few ready. Now, what I did on the cardboard is I just covered it with some of the silver metal tape that you use for like air conditioning pipes and stuff. And I put that on there first and then I die cut those pieces and it gives you a really nice effect. And even though they're going to be either painted or uh, stained in some way, the grooves from the cardboard and whatever will make it look really nice. Here I'm measuring, but you know what? I don't know what the measurements are now. Um, so I'm not going to go through that with you, but it I was just trying to see how much room I had to put everything. I do want it a 3D type picture. I don't want it to be flat, so I am going to be utilizing the depth as much as possible. The head will stick up above the frame, and maybe a few other pieces. I don't know because I'm still working on it. Hopefully part two, I won't have to do a voiceover and you can just craft along with me and listen to the chit chat. I'm hoping that by showing you this, you will start seeing things in a different way. And you will want to just go ahead and put it down. If you want to use hot glue for everything, go ahead. Just remember that you don't want it in a sunny window or over a heat register or anything like that because it can cause it to fail. And so I always, if I do use hot glue, then I will uh, use gel medium with it so that if for some reason the hot glue fails, you still have something holding it there. And gel medium and modeling paste will stay on whatever surface you put it on, so that's something else. I'm showing you some string that's quite old. It's probably about 30 years old, and it is dry rotting, but you know, it'll make some really nice texture. So don't be afraid to use those things because you're going to cover it up anyway. Um, just just look at things in a different way, and the less stuff that goes in the landfill, the better, because our stores waste so much. And, you know, for many years, the blame has been put on us. But I have a friend who does a dumpster dive, and she has shown how much waste the stores have with perfectly good products. And that's just a shame. So even though we don't waste nearly as much being artists, we use everything we can, um, it's still going to help. What I did here is I had an old doll, and these are from like the 80s. The Witch's Hands are from Lee Ward's, and that hasn't been around for many, many years. So they're kind of cool, and I'm going to use those. I cut the head part so that it would fit and sit properly on the frame that I chose. And so then I will add the arms uh, as the process continues to, you know, complete the shoulder area and things like that. I have used drywall tape. It's old, it's no longer sticky, but it's still usable in a craft, and the texture is very good. So um, that I'm using. I've used an old DVD or CD spacer, which you know you can't record on, it's just a spacer. I use that to glue the base of the head, or not the base, but the frame and the head, and using that as a base. I put some stuff over the top. I mean, it's all coming up soon, but I just didn't want to bore you with all the details here. I found some very large vintage buttons that I'm going to use in the design. Um, I had bought some cuckoo clock parts, and oh, I've had them about 3 or 4 years, and it was always my intention to do steampunk with them, and I haven't used them very much, so now I'm going to. Um, you can see that one right there with the bird in the brass piece right between my hands. That is part of a cuckoo clock, and the gears that are standing, those the metal gears that are in the corners when I start, where I'll remind you of that later. Um, so a lot of it will be from there, the gear type things. So I'm looking at a few things. I have some chipboard that, I had die cut. And I wasn't sure if I was going to make it a Halloween theme or just steampunk or whatever. So I just pulled a few things out to see if that's going to work for me. And that's all I'm doing is explaining some of the things that I dug out. Like this is a whole bag of junk drawer stuff. It's screws and nails and bent things and little washers and just odds and ends of things that end up in the bottom of your junk drawer and you don't know what the heck to do with them. So I put them all in a bag and now I'm going to use them. We have some time, while I'm showing. Oh, this is a cool piece here. It's from a clock and it makes a chime. And I was hoping to use it, but it'll have to go in a different project because it's just a little bit too big for this one. But it's the back of a clock, and the little wire there will chime. And but anyway, it is a very cool piece, and I will use it. So I'm just showing some things I found, at a garage sale or a thrift store or whatever. It's 50 cents or whatever I can find that's very reasonable. Some of the things that I'm touching right now came from either a DVD player or a VHS player. I took them apart to get whatever was stuck inside and decided that these pieces just might work for some steampunk. They're plastic. That's why they break down and why you have to buy so many of them. But anyway, I thought all of those plastic gears would be perfect for this project. Because they're light, they don't weigh as much as the metal gears. And so this was a decision that I made, and I think it's really going to turn out cute. So um, I'm not sure what I'm discussing right now, but there will be times when I will, pause the video so I can do something that is time consuming, or if I have to blow dry something. This is a brush that I thought I had washed and I hadn't. So I just saved it. I don't know if I can use it in this project, but it's here if I want to. It's just something. And it's a good place to start. We can use just about anything. You can cut pieces of plastic, or you can use old tape, or, just let your mind determine what it is that you want to use. You can certainly use keepsakes, you can use chain, you can use anything, a drawer handle. I mean, you name it, you can use it. This is not something that you have to go buy anything for. Now, I'm trying to figure out what the regular price was on there. It's an old box, so I know it's been around a while, and the glue um, on the mesh is no good, so it's not sticky, and that's okay. I mean, when I got down into the roll, it was a little bit more sticky, but it's still not good enough, I don't think, to use on your drywall. But you know what? If I was desperate, I'd use it. So I'm explaining about the different products I'll use. I have a gloss super heavy gel from Liquitex. I will probably use that because it will be covered up anyway. Then I have a regular ultra matte gel that I'm going to use. These are opaque, and so if you're going to paint it and cover it, it's okay. But if you want something to see through, make sure you use impasto or some kind of clear gel medium, and preferably matte. So then I'm showing you some eggshells that I have prepared if I want to use them, and I probably will for texture. You clean them really well, you soak them in vinegar and soap, and you clean them really well, then you bake them in the oven to completely dry them and eliminate any bacteria that may be on them. So this is a piece of jewelry ephemera that I found at Michael's, and I'm not sure if I'll use it, but I really like it. I've used it on a few projects. And so I'm just showing you just different ideas, maybe I won't, I don't know. So I think now I'm moving things off so I can get my canvas ready, and that cardboard, by the way, will be used in certain areas of the uh, project. So probably in my next video I will be using some of those things, pieces of those things. And they will all be glued on, and I'll use modeling paste or gel or gesso or whatever. Now these are what I had talked about earlier. These are the Tim Holtz dies that have like the faucet, the pipes, and then the other one is gears, the larger gears. So those I made just in case I wanted to use them. I didn't really have a plan, but you never know. You might need one little spot, that needs something, and this would be perfect. So that's why I did these, and they're ready to go if I need to do them. So yeah, you can use regular pipes and fittings and things like that, but it all depends on how heavy you want your piece and you know where you are going with it. Mine is not really a plumbing theme. Mine is more of a clock theme. So I think I'm going to probably stick with the gears and the clock type things, maybe a watch, or I have plenty of those to use. But some of these little parts could also be used. So that's pretty cool, that you can use these items that you have hanging around. I had a whole watch collection. People have been giving me watches for years, and I had a whole watch collection. Some of them no longer worked and totally out of style now, of course, and I've hung on to them for over 20 years. And I decided, I love them, but why not just use them? And then my memory is there permanently in the piece that I've made. And if I choose to give it away or sell it or whatever, then I still have the pictures, I still have the memories of it. And when you get to the end stage of your life, you really want to downsize and make things a little easier to store and care for. So it's okay by me. I really don't mind doing that. So I got many, many years that I can live and create, so why not use these things and share that love with someone else? I'm going on about gluing the two pieces together because I made one piece with tape and one piece just plain cardboard. And I realized that they are not uniform, and real uh, gears would be uniform. So, excuse me. So anyway, I was going on about why can't they just make these uniform? It would be so much easier. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to use them. I love these things. I use them all the time. So they're great for the background, and then you can add the real stuff on top, so it doesn't add the huge weight of the metal gears. And the metal gears aren't cheap to buy, and you can get cardboard free every day from Amazon, and I reuse all of the stuff I can as far as boxes and mailers and things like that. So if I can't mail something in, remail something in it, then I'll use it for crafts. I very rarely throw it in the garbage. It's just, just seems like such a waste. And what's great about Amazon is now you can send your stuff back to them, your packaging material. I'm not sure what the process is, but you can definitely go on their website and find out how, if you have a lot. I wish everybody did that. Now, even, the post office, I will reuse a good box from them. Um, that cuts their costs down and maybe will keep our postage from going up sky high again. It makes it really hard, to do swaps and, racks and things like that with people because, it costs a lot of money to mail. And so it's going to curtail that for sure. So anyway, oh yeah, right here, I'm just filling my plastic bag up with all these parts so that they don't, because they end up getting stuck on your sleeve or, and they go all over the place. So I just want to um, clean up the desk a little bit. See, those little pieces there can be used to make little flowers or whatever with them. So I have some old keys and numerous little parts. Okay, so I have the frame. I think it's ready to go. I'm gonna set that on there. All right, and I'm gonna just place some things to see how it fits. It won't be straight yet, but just see how it fits. The Usually people, are artists. They want you to do like one side and leave a portion of it blank. And you can definitely do that, but if that's not your style, follow whatever you like to do, and that's what I do. I like the way that looks. I have no issues with the way it looks. In fact, I do have some things that I did that way, but when I'm doing an assemblage piece or this, like jewelry or this type of thing, I like to fill the frame. I like I like it to be busy. I like to be able to see all these things, and but that's just my idea. Everybody's different, so make it your way. If you don't like the way I'm making it, that doesn't mean you have to do it this way. Do it your way. Um, See, I don't care for this. It's cute. It looks like a jack in the box, but that's not really what I want. It would be cute for another project, I think, a jack in a box, but I have an idea for it, but um, I'm thinking it will be more Halloween, and I know just what I want to use it for. So as soon as this project's over, I just may do that because it's Halloween and Gothic type stuff are really right down my alley. I can do the other things, and I've done a lot in the past, but I'm just really enjoying this. What I'm using right now, sorry about that, what I'm using right now are sprues from model kits. My husband builds World War II airplane models and, um, war vehicles, but mostly airplanes. And he has a lot of sprues, and it it's sad to just throw them all away. So I did save some, and I'll use them, in this project. I won't use very many, but I'll use them where I need them. And it's great for texture. And, I'm just moving stuff around right now on here to see, what I want to do. This is not how it ends up. So, just play with it, just like I am. Play with it, see if you like how it looks. If you don't, you just move on. So anyway, the sprues are very cool. Some of them still have parts on them that he doesn't use. These do not have parts. These are just the pieces that normally gets thrown away. And so just if anybody wants them, let me know and we'll save them up and ship them, but you have to pay shipping. Um, there's no charge other than shipping. They don't weigh very much either. So if you're working on these types of things and you would like some, I really don't mind sharing because we do have several. And he's in a club, so we could probably get a whole lot more, but I don't want to spend my time shipping, but I am willing to do that with my followers here, or whatever you want to call yourselves, subbies. So I'm just fitting some gears from the cuckoo clock into the arms to see if that will work. I had two that were pretty close to the same type and tried them out. So this is the time-consuming part. Putting it together pretty much goes quickly, but this part, figuring out where things go, uh, at this point I had not decided yet to eliminate that wooden piece with the chime, and somehow I wanted that chime to be interactive, um, and it just was not going to work on this piece. So, but it will work on the next piece because I already know how I'm going to fix it. So the, I mean, this would be fine just as it is. I mean, there's so much more you could do with it, but I really, at this point, I believe I was starting to see um, a different way of doing it. I think I was already there, and it's, I'm going to just remove it all pretty quick here. So I think I'm digging into my basket, or not really a basket, I have a really old suitcase. And it's pretty bad looking. It's not great, but it holds all my gears and big pieces. So see, now I'm trying to figure this one out yet. I know I want something like that on the arms. I'm just not sure exactly yet how I'm going to do it because you still have to attach them. And so I'm still trying to work that out. And feel free to fast forward through some of this if you are not interested. Um, I don't mind. But some people really enjoy the full length. I am one of those people. Um, they enjoy the full length video so they can see the process and how I go about doing it. Um, I know there's quite a few other people that do very long videos, and I've subscribed to a lot of them, and I do spend time watching um, what they do, mostly junk journal related. I do love doing those, but right now I'm in this mode, so I will continue to do junk journals at some point, but right now there's a lot of people doing them, so I thought I wanted to do something different for you. So this isn't going to be, um, you know, forever. I will do other things. But I'd like my channel to be very diversified. I don't really want it to be just paper products or whatever. I'd like it to be, recycling anything. And I have a ton of recycle. Here I am. I'm getting to the part that I was starting to see as I was putting things together. And then I realized, yes, this is exactly what I want it to be. So if you look at it, it's actually the buttons are vintage, and I have two of them, so I thought they look like wheels. And so now I'm going to go with that. And so I want to add some things to, make it look like, the gears and the wheels are working together. And I have to dig in my little uh, trunk or suitcase, whatever you want to call it, and pull out some more things and then kind of work on that little um, piece that came out of I believe this came out of a DVD player just because of the way it looks. I just don't remember. But there's a lot of things inside those pieces of equipment that are no longer usable. They're broken, they're cracked. Um, Nobody uses them anymore, so everything's digital. I still have a VHS player. Um, I think I may have a dozen family videos that I could use it for. So I'm kind of hoarding that player until I can get them copied. So I tried doing it digitally and I was very successful at it, but unfortunately now, since technology has changed again, it's impossible to view them. So I'm very disappointed in all that because we have years and years and years of VHS. My dad had taken pictures, videos back in the 50s and 60s, and I had all of those transferred to VHS, and now I'm stuck. I have to figure out how to. It was all done on one, so it's like an 8-hour video, and it's almost impossible to break it up into um, digital now because of the limitations. Um, I might get it done at some point professionally, but it's pretty costly, and you know, I have to decide where to spend my money, so, as we all do. I'm hoping that at some point I will find the proper uh, video editing software that will allow me to do that with the VHS. I don't even know if the new computers are compatible um, to download from the VHS player. I have no idea. It's just beyond my mental capacity at this point. So, but something will come along, I'm sure. And I have a couple of different video software that I bought, but now they're obsolete. They won't work with the Windows 10. And I do have some Windows 7, but I'm not sure that they are good enough for that, because that's a lot to ask of a older computer to work on that. So I'm just talking about that because I'm going through quite a bit of this, putting things on. The little window lock there was broken and we had to replace it. So I looked at it and I thought, oh man, I think I could use that on Steampunk somewhere. And so today is the day. I just happened to find it down in the little trunk, and so I'm going to use that. The chain I'm just not thrilled with. I thought it would look cool, but I'm not thrilled with it. I don't want this baby doll to be in chains. So I like that it's in this little movable cart. I don't know what to call it, but I like that it'll be in there. I'm using the sprues right now to make shoulders for the arms. I think that's going to work out really well. And I haven't glued the head on yet. The sprues have a little like two halves of a circle with an indentation, and that's what I'm trying to do, is work the little crease in the arms into that and see how that will work. And I think it's going to be fine. I think it'll work out just great. So it's coming along. Very boring, I know, but I had to let it dry a little bit because I used the heavy gel to adhere the bird cuckoo clock frame. That was on the one side. The other side was I forget what was on the other side. Maybe just the gears. Um, and you can see where it had come up through some of the holes and everything, which is perfect because that's what you want. You want a little bit of that to keep it stable once it dries. So now I'm just trying to figure out what to do with the gears. And these are all plastic that I'm working with now. On the brass frame with the bird, I will use brass clock gears because that's what came out of the clocks. So I wanted that to be in there. So I think I will have two of those and then just some screws or something to balance it out. I do like balance. And again, that's not something you have to have, it just happens to be something I like. So I'm looking at that bag again to see if there's anything I can use. Still not sure about those gears on the arms. Let's see. Um, yeah, I'm pondering. I'm pondering for sure. Yeah, I don't think those are going to go up there. I don't think so. I'm tearing some cardboard because I was getting bored watching too, and I apologize for the noise. But while I'm watching this, I just had an idea, and I won't glue it down, but I will put it down so that I remember what it was that I was thinking about. Because if I don't, then I will forget for sure. And oh yes, that's going to look great. All right, so I promise I won't make any more noise while I'm doing the voiceover. Now I turned the frame around so that I could show you what I'm doing here. I added um, the mesh, and then I made some colored gel medium, and I made that with my Amsterdam liquid acrylic. It's an ink, but it's acrylic and it's permanent, so it's not, like Ranger inks or anything. It's not alcohol ink. I prefer not to use those because they aren't stable. Um, and I like them for the journals, um, but I'm getting away from them because of them being water reactive, and that kind of bothers me when you're making something like this especially. So I'm adding the gel medium on the cut edge of the head. And while I'm doing this, I'm just smearing it around. I will end up using some hot glue as well, because this is going to be a little bit hard to adhere. But let me tell you what I had to do to cut this head. It is old. It's at least 30 years old. And it is not 100% brittle yet, but it is getting there. So I had to use um, wire cutters, snips, to um, cut at the neck opening in the back and cut that piece out first. and then I had to use a utility knife. And if you use a utility knife, please be extremely careful because it's hard to cut and it could slip and cut you. So I'm not recommending the knife. I am only saying that's what I used. So what I had to do was I made a line where I thought it would go, and then I had to um, take the knife and rock it back and forth slowly, following the line to get it cut off. And then I tried to retrofit it, and it still didn't work. But because I had done that, I was able to use the wire cutters to snip off what didn't fit. And that was how I ended up doing it, and it worked out really well. Um, but just know that if it's a vintage head, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be like the soft heads you buy now. It's going to be really tough to get those off. And so, to get the back of the head off. I really am happy that I did it, so that this doll head would be used and not end up in the garbage. Um, I know people are still making dolls, but I think they're using the newer things because we don't know what these are made out of. Um, there's nothing on the packaging that says if they're, you know, made with safe products. I have no idea. So my thing is to doing something like this, kids not going to play with it. They're not going to put it in their mouth. So that's my reason for using it. So anyway, I'm just smearing the excess glue around onto the little brass frame, a little on the head, um, just so it isn't real globby. So I know globby's not really a word, but it's a word to me. When you're creating with this type of thing, you get globs and it gets globby. So if it's not a word, I apologize. My daughter's has a master's in education. She'd probably go crazy with some of the stuff I say. But hey, you know what? I'm old. I can say whatever I want. So anyway, um, this is getting to, yeah, where I need to do the gluing, I think. I think I end up, yeah, I think I'm probably at this point gonna let it dry maybe. And then you'll see like a little blip or something if I have decided that. Oh yeah, if you use any of the gel mediums, make sure you clean off your tools right away because I had forgotten. I think I had used a towel and got the excess out, laid it down, maybe got called away or the phone rang or something, and I left it and thought I had cleaned it and it got hard. But I only use junky brushes for this type of work, so it wasn't a huge loss, and I can still use it in my crafts. It's not like it's totally wasted. And many of these brushes I've had for 20 or 30 years, so um, it's really keeping keeping up with the recycling and reusing aspect of this craft. So yeah, see, it's coming along, and I really do like how I did that. I think that looks really cool. So we just want to, try to make it as close. Please excuse my head. Sometimes you have to sit right over top to make sure it looks good. Um, you can measure, since this is something on a um, little cart type thing for the doll. I want it to be pretty close to center. If it's a little bit off, it's okay, but try to make it as close as you can. Right now I'm picking out little screws to see if I can get some into the frame. There are 4 places that I can do that with. And I think I end up putting it in something so that I can go through it, and because it was really hard in the bag. I don't think I'll put it back in the bag. I think I'm going to put it into a Tupperware Rubbermaid type thing, like I did my buttons. That way I can go through them really quickly. Um, so I think that's what I've done. I don't know. I think I did, because really that bag is what's a pain in the butt. But anyway, it's kind of boring right here. There we go. I turned it around, and I do have the little the gears with the little pokey bits sticking out. I got them poked into the foam core. That's why I like to use foam core. And but just be aware that foam core is very light. It is strong, but it will only withstand so much. If you use the really cheap foam core from like Dollar Tree, that paper will come off when it gets wet. It just bubbles all up and everything. So be aware. This is not a dollar store foam core. This is a very good foam core. Um, I don't remember what brand because that was made a long time ago. But anyway, that doesn't seem to peel up like the one from the Dollar Tree. So I'm not saying you can't use that one, just be very careful because things will separate. And since this is going to be hanging on the wall, that would not be a good plan. Right now, I don't like the color of that brown, so I'm adding a little bit of black. Again, I use my acrylic ink because it's permanent. And I just put 3 drops in. I think I end up putting a couple more drops because I wanted it a little bit darker, a little more muddy looking. And it will dry a little darker, as you will see later. Pardon me. I need a drink. That's what's going on. When I talk a lot, I have to drink. I apologize. So yeah, I ended up putting a little bit more in there, and I think that color will be fine because I am going to paint over it anyway. But if you use white, of course, it's going to be harder to paint it. So this way, if you don't get in all the little grooves and all the little things, it doesn't matter because it will just look like shading or, just it's okay. You don't have to worry about it too much. I just like doing it. You could certainly make it all black, but I know I'm going to have more than just black on here. Even though I could do that, it's not going to be all black. Because I do want some of these things to show through, like the brass. And I'm looking on this brass piece because there's a couple of little sharp nubs, and I want to make it made little holes in the thing. I want to make sure I put them right back where I pulled that out. And I'm trying not to get my head in the shot, so it's got to go over just a little bit, I think. Not sure. Yeah, okay. So I pushed it down a little bit. A little bit of it came up through the center hole of the bird, which is perfect. That will help to keep that stable while it dries. And when I go over it with metallics or whatever, um, or rust paste or anything like that, adhere to it. It'll look good. So now I'm fitting those back on there, and I think it's going to come out pretty well. It's really starting to come along. I'm liking it very much. And the towels that I use are actually bamboo. I get them from Amazon. I've been using the same roll since January. You can hand wash them. I've washed them in the machine, just don't put them in the dryer. Um, I use them mostly for paint, but when I'm doing a project, I use an old one for glue, and it saves on the paper towels. Uh, we don't use near the paper towels that we used to since I decided to get this roll of bamboo. And it's really nice. It's a very nice, soft, very absorbent towel. It's a little pricey. It's like $7.99 for one roll, but in the product packaging, I think it said it saved you like uh, I don't know, 300 to 500 rolls of paper towels um, that you normally would use. We go through a lot of paper towels doing crafts, and so I decided I would give it a try, and it's been the best thing. Usually I cut it into one sheet into fours, and I used 1/4 of a sheet for an entire month before I had to get rid of it. I was just so impressed with it. So rather than buy, tons and tons and tons of paper towels, I'd rather just buy one of those and use that with my crafts. I still use paper towels if I need to, but it's very minimal. I probably don't use them um, other than in the kitchen. I don't use them in the craft room hardly ever, once in a great while. Um, I feel that the bamboo ones just absorb so much more and it's very little waste. So for me, mm, I've been using them since January, like I said, and I still have more than half a roll. And I just, if I do use them for glue, um, like, if I put like Mod Podge, it'll be on my brush and I'll stick it in the water. Well, then I take it out of the water and I use that to squish out the water and the glue. Well, what I do after it absorbs into the cloth, then I just kind of let it dry a little bit, and then I take the cloth and I stretch it and whatever, and it releases the glue. And you can still use it. So I don't throw it away. I just keep reusing it until I can't use it. When it no longer absorbs, then I throw it away. So for me, that's a plus plus plus. And the fact that you can wash it if you've only used like to clean your brushes. You dip it in the water and you wash them and clean your brushes. It gets dirty, but it's not full of paint. Then you just let it dry and then you wash it. Or you can take it to your sink and wash it right then and there. Um, Either way. There's been a couple times when I had spills to clean up, and gosh, I used like a half a roll of regular paper towels, and I only used one of the full sheets of bamboo towels to clean it all up. So that was really good. I scooped it up first um, and tried to get the major wetness picked up, but then trying to clean it was very interesting, to say the least. But yeah, it did really work well. So I highly recommend them. I don't have an Amazon. I have an Amazon account for my personal purchases, but I don't have an account for you to buy anything from. Just go on your own and look up bamboo paper towels. and you'll be surprised at the usage and what all can be done with them. I did try using them in the kitchen, but I just found I preferred the regular paper towels for that. Um, I'm sure some people that's all they use. Now I'm putting on the window lock, and I'm using my awl to secure it to the spot that I already had poked in, and then I'm moving that up so I can, make sure I have it in the right place. I want to be able to um, put a stop in that hole that's in the frame of the bird frame there, cuckoo clock frame. I don't know what you actually call it, but it's the outside of it. So we are winding down. We just got about 5 more minutes of this part of the video, and then I will start on part two as soon as this uploads. It's gonna I had already uploaded it and then found out that it was no voice, and I really don't know what happened because it seems to be working now. Um, I have no idea. I don't know if something happened with my webcam or whatever. I don't know. So yeah, I think that's gonna work out really well. So today it's all dry and, very uh, sturdy, I guess is the word. I just couldn't think of the word. Sturdy, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So we are almost finished here. I think we have maybe about 5 minutes, maybe less. So please, if you'd like to watch the next step, please like, subscribe, share if you would, and click the bell if you want a notification that part two is up. It probably won't be up until tomorrow because I won't upload it until I'm sure that the voice has worked. And yeah, because I don't want to have to download it again or upload it again. Um, I find voiceovers to be, a little difficult because you have to really think about what you did that day, and it's not easy. I admire those that do it quite frequently. They do a good job. Right now I'm hot gluing some of the spots, the deeper parts, and then the flat parts I'm using the gel medium, because then, you have the hot glue to hold it together and then the other glue to make it permanent. So that's what I'm doing here. So once I get this down, I think that's probably where I ended. I won't know that for another minute or so. But yeah, this is coming along quite well. And just trying to get everything lined up and back the way it was. You should also take pictures so that, with your phone or whatever, so you can look at it. Is this how I had it? So at least it'll be close. And I try to do that. And sometimes I still don't get it right, but, maybe it's a better, one thing is in a better position, but at least you have, a reference to how you wanted it to look. So anyway, please, leave me a comment if you like this and if you'd like to see more. I'd really appreciate it because it's really difficult to um, you know, to put the kind of content on here that people want if I don't know what they want. So that would help me a lot. I'm just talking about what I'm doing here and how I need to finish the that little piece there. And I think I found the piece that I needed. And it's just a little piece of a gear. So I can take the screw out and put that back in. And then it'll stop the arm of the lock from going past that. I don't want it to go past that. I had a little trouble with that end there. I think the hot glue must have dried too quickly or cooled off too quickly, so it's not adhering, but it will once I get everything in place. So I'm back to trying to hold it down. So yeah, we're almost there. I can see it. So at this point, I'm just going to say goodbye. I will see you in the next video, and I want to thank you for watching and for sharing and for subscribing. Please have a wonderful day. I know everybody is in their homes, and you know, the ones that don't have to work are, you know, staying in their homes and everything. Just try to find something fun to do and, you know, talk to your parents, grandparents, family members, and whatever. And just try to, you know, embrace what's happening and do things to make yourself busy and happy, and we'll all get through this. And it's not going to be you know, it's not going to be a long time. It'll be just a short time once everybody gets on board. Yep, see, I had to put that piece in there. I guess I shouldn't have said goodbye already. Oh my goodness. It must have been at 106, not 10. I thought it was 102 or something. I thought that's what it was going to be. But it's okay. You don't mind, do you? I sure don't want to do another hour of voiceover. So, yeah. Yep. See, that's going to work out just perfect. Look at that. Yes. And I think maybe I just realized I'm going to go ahead and put those two buttons there um, because that'll support that arm piece that's there from the video player, whatever kind it was. And I think that's definitely what I have planned. Yeah. Well, doggone it. I wish I wouldn't have said goodbye. So forgive me. I'm still new at this, and I have watched some videos on how to do it, but it's like they're so technical, and uh, I don't have I don't have a degree in communications or anything. So yeah, look at that. Isn't that cool? I like how that's turning out. I really do like it. It to me it looks like a little car that a little kid would be playing in. I just really like that. And I just love those buttons. Those are so pretty. I've had them for a long time and just didn't know what to use them on. And it's perfect for this. Now I guess I have to go digging in my button box and see what else I have. Yeah. Well, this has been an interesting project for sure. Yeah, it's going together pretty well. It's really uh, and it's not heavy either. The frame is heavy, but you need to have something that's a little stout for doing this stuff. You want it to be able to feel good that the all the things you're putting on there are going to hold up. You don't want it to fall apart. So anyway, I think we're getting close here. I have just a few more seconds of placement, and then that will be the end. I see the end screen. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.